Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
You're listening to Bloomberg Businessweek with Carol Massar and Tim Stenovec on Bloomberg Radio.
Shiri Levi-Laor is CEO of Driivz. It's a global EV charging software provider that's part of the publicly traded industrial tech company Vontier. She joins us from Greensboro, North Carolina. Vontier, by the way, ticker is VNT, and it's got a market cap of over $5 billion, about $5.5 billion. Great to have you here with us. I think it's safe to say, just remind the world about what Driivz is all about.
Great to be here with you today. Thank you for having me. Driivz is the brain behind the EV chargers. So think about it as the ones that operate that machine, that helps you charge your car, operate the app that helps you find the chargers and manage the energy to allow you to drive and charge with reliability. We are the operating system behind EV charging.
So the struggles that we've seen with the large American companies that I just mentioned, we have Ford and GM taking some pretty big write-downs over the last few months on their EV business. How are you seeing that manifest in your business? Are you just not seeing growth the same way that you thought you would? Sort of the same thing that we saw from these EV makers?
It's a great question. We are seeing growth. And if we look at it, the way I look at growth is number of EVs on the road, and I look at number of chargers. During the course of 2025 in the US alone, there were an additional 18,000 chargers added across the US. Also, during the course of 2025, 20 million EV cars were sold. We are seeing a great growth. What I think that is happening is a stabilization. If we look at a few years back, EV charging was the alien of cars. It was new. Now it's stabilizing. The early adoption phase is gone. We are getting into disciplined execution, which is very, very different than a few years back that people got the hype of charging. Now it's becoming standard. We want to get into a point in which EV cars will be just cars.
So this is about fast charging, correct?
Fast charging, but not only. Okay. People charge in three main areas. They charge either at their homes, which will be most likely slow chargers. They charge at work, which many occasions will be slow to semi-high. And they charge on the highways, this is where we see the public fast chargers.
What's the relationship between software and charging? What can software do to the charging process?
That's a great question. If you think about it, just like your computer will not operate without the operating system, without Windows, for example, if you have a Microsoft-based. It's the same with the charger. The charger alone, without the software to operate it, to help you find the charger, to help you pay, to help you transfer the energy, cannot do. So this is why software on top of that charger is a key. Without that, people couldn't charge, just like you couldn't use your computer without your operating system.
So I'm curious who's actually buying the chargers. You talked about retail and charging in your home, but how much of this is commercial versus kind of retail or just individuals?
So when it comes to public, it's different. Public, you will see the charge point operators. This you can see in some convenience retails. You can see a standalone EV charging sites. Those are the buyers of these chargers. At home, it really depends. Sometimes it will come with the manufacturer of your car that you will get the charger. Sometimes it's people standalone buying a charger from manufacturers of chargers. And it varies. The prices of it can change. We are there to help the network manage. So there are two parts to it. There is managing the chargers for the charge point operators, and there is helping managing the drivers for the energy management service providers who help you find chargers across the way. In many occasions, not even owning the charger, but just helping you find chargers across the way, just like you do with roaming when you move between countries and you want to connect to your cellular network.
How do you manage the regulatory environment in Washington right now and the changing administration's goals? So, this newish administration, the president is not a fan of, I think it's fair to say not a fan of EVs, save for sort of what he did with Tesla earlier in the year, but that's kind of up and down. But, certainly killing the subsidies for EVs, fair to say that. What's the read from the team in Washington that sort of determines future growth of this industry?
I really believe that NEVI and other state policies, they are helping to unlock capital for more investment of chargers on the ground. But eventually, when we look at the drivers, when they buy the electric vehicle car, they don't really think about these policies. They think about driving an electric car and all the benefits that comes with it. I really think that we should look at other places like Europe, in which we are seeing that 17.5% of all the cars are electric vehicles. In some countries, like in Norway, we are seeing that 92% of all the new cars are EVs. There is no question whether the US will eventually turn EV and how long will it take. It's a question of the when. This is the direction of travel. And I believe that slowly we are seeing the NEVI came back. Different state policies will change. In California, we know that the states is going to fully pivot to EV by 2035. So it's a state by state situation, but eventually the world is moving into EVs.
We're talking with Shiri Levi-Laor. She is the CEO of Driivz. It's a global EV charging software provider. It is part of the publicly traded industrial tech company Vontier. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Shiri, is are you guys profitable as part of the Vontier business? Can you break down some of the metrics and talk to us about maybe top line growth for your part of the business of this company? And are you profitable?
We are having double-digit growth year over year, which is a great progress for us. We are growing together with the market. We are seeing a great growth around convenience retail stores, which is helping really to reduce and move from range anxiety to charging anxiety, which I can talk about more. But at the end of the day, we are seeing high double digits growth year over year, which demonstrate the success that we're seeing, and not only in EVs, but also in energy management, which is a key to supporting the reliability of the industry.
So top line growth, it sounds like, but also profitability in this part of the business?
Yeah, we are getting there. We are very, very much close. We are getting there. We are seeing great support, and we are seeing over years, this is where we're getting. We are SaaS companies, and we are making great progress.
One of the things that, if you certainly go to your website, it is about energy management. And I think about grid stress, and I think about the AI build, and we talk often here at Bloomberg about the cost of utility bills for individuals because there is all of a sudden energy demand, which has been pretty consistent for a long time. It has grown, and a lot of that has to do with the AI build out. How does what you do, your products, play into that energy management need at this time?
Well, if you think about it that way, we help control the consumption. And there are many countries like in Europe that already going into the broker scene of buying and selling energy. Energy is really the new gold. And we need to help the charge point operators and convenience retailers to manage the energy in a smart manner and to do load balancing and making sure to not stress the grid. So our solution have a mixed situation between the ability to manage the meter and that consumption on the site, and then cloud-based solution to help you balance the energy consumption, the peak hours, when should I buy the energy, and how to manage it in a smart way to not stress the grid.
How do you do that in an environment that is seeing more demand than our grid was built for?
I really believe it's a matter of how do you manage the utilization and how do you really ensure, because where the situation is becoming really sour is in the peak hours. So how do you manage in the peak hours? How do you help understand where you might want to put some additional energy like batteries or renewable energy? How do we really help the operators to manage your network in a way that will allow them to become profitable? And the energy is the huge part of the cost for them. So if we help them understand when to buy the energy and how to spread the energy across the different chargers, this is where we're already seeing an amazing return on investment for them. We are sitting, if you think about it as Driivz, we are managing today 1 terawatt of energy. This is worth to managing a small town, and having all of this data helps us understand how to do load balancing, manage the grid, and really enable them to control the cost in a very effective manner.
All right, interesting stuff. Shiri, thank you so much. Good to check in with you and get an update. Shiri Levi-Laor, she is the CEO of Driivz, joining us right here on Bloomberg Businessweek Daily.